had to pull out the dramatic shirt because these girls are dramatic, honey. Dramatic. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Portia. All my friends call me Porsh, so you could call me Porsh too. If you are new here, welcome. I make beauty, lifestyle, and random Bachelor and Bachelorette videos right here on the tube. Yeah, if you are interested in any of those things, just keep on watching. But if you guys don't already know, you already know what it is. Today is Tuesday, so we are doing Batch Tuesdays. So we are right here with the Bachelor recap, and I'm gonna tell you guys everything you need to know about the episode last night, and I'm just going to be giving you my unwanted and unpopular opinion. Well, it's probably a popular opinion because I feel like there's no denying that everybody on this season is trash. So if you've been keeping up with the season, you already know that we're starting off with a 2-on-1 with Matt, with Jessenia and MJ. So Jessenia and MJ are waiting for Matt to arrive, and it is a full-on fight, okay? The girls are fighting. MJ is saying that this is all Jessenia's fault. Everything that she told Matt was a lie, that she has never did anything of the sort. She never bullied anybody, and you know that, you know, she's a baddie, so she's gonna come out of this on top. Yesenia, being the boss babe that she is, she sits there and says, okay. Once Matt gets there, he pulls Jessenia to the side. Jessenia says that MJ has been lying to him the whole entire time. She's been a mean girl. She's been a mean girl, and you know, she's not who she's acting completely different from who she is in front of you. So Matt's like, all right, I'll take that into account. Then he goes, grabs MJ. MJ comes in with the big hoops, big hair, big energy. It didn't work. All you did was catch a big L. MJ is telling Matt that she did nothing of the sort, that she has always led by example, and that she has never caused any animosity and or bullying or anything among those sort in the house. Now, I can't really tell if Matt is buying it or not, but from the looks of it, I don't think he was, or he was just trying to figure out what his next move was going to be, because according to him, he had feelings for Jessenia, and he also has strong feelings for MJ. So he wasn't quite sure what he was going to do. I don't know how many times he has said that he has strong feelings for like literally every single person in the house, but when it all comes down to it, Matt is pacing back and forth. He's trying to figure out. He eventually sides with Jessenia, and he sends MJ home. Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. That mean girl saga is over, kind of. But because that was just so traumatic for Matt, and he just was really upset about sending MJ home, he cancels the cocktail party. So all the girls are rightfully upset, but no one is as upset as Serena C. The very last of the mean girls, maybe the outskirt of the mean girls, if you will. So after Chris Harrison comes and announces that the cocktail party has been canceled, Serena C automatically blames Katie, saying this is all Katie's fault. She's the one who brought up all the bullying in the first place, and if she never would have did that, maybe, you know, all of this would have never happened. What? I don't even know why everyone hates Katie. Like, I don't understand, because she's doing everything she possibly can to make everybody in this situation, the girls, herself, Matt, she's doing everything that she possibly can to make it a good environment for everyone, and for some reason everybody just want to like fight Katie. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. What's wrong with y'all? So in the midst of Serena C going off on Katie, Ryan has a full-blown meltdown, sweetie. She has a full-blown meltdown because she's just like, oh my God, there's no cocktail party, so I can't get to talk to Matt, and now he's gonna send me home. And I have such strong feelings for him. Girl, you've been there for 2 weeks. You've been there for 2 weeks. How? You are boo-hooing like you have spent all the time in the world with this man and you've barely said 5 words to him. So jumping right into the rose ceremony. So Matt gets right to it, and the girls that go home are Maggie, Ryan, and Brittany. Now, Maggie, I was not surprised with going home. I didn't think that Maggie had any type of chemistry with Matt whatsoever. I just feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because she didn't get any screen time, so we don't really know how her interaction with Matt was, but I just feel like it wasn't Ryan. She already knew that she was going home, but she's just boo-hooing even more now because she's like, I never got a chance. And Brittany, I think Brittany was the most surprising out of all 3 of the girls that went home. Matt pretty much shut half of the episode down just for Brittany. So that was a little bit surprising, seeing as how he went through all this stuff, but that might have been more or less like, I just want everything to be okay. Like, I don't want there to be any bullying or name calling or ruining somebody's reputation on the show. So we hop to the next day, and Chris Harrison walks in with the date card. All the girls are talking about how they cannot stand to be on another group date, which I'm not really understanding why none of them want to be on a group. I mean, I understand why they don't want to be on a group date, but I think they all realize that they can't all get the one-on-one, so they are all just freaking out. Chris Harrison brings the one-on-one date card, and we know that Piper gets the one-on-one date. Now, in the midst of all of this, you guys, in the midst of all of this, Heather, I don't know her last name. I can't remember. I don't know anybody's last name. I can't remember their last names, but Heather from Colton's season, Crazy Heather, shows up in a minivan. Can somebody please explain to me the minivan, why she's in a minivan? I just need to know, why is she driving a minivan? Does she have like 2 sons that she have to take to lacrosse practice? Like, somebody tell me why she's driving a minivan. So Heather pulls up, and in true white privilege form, she says, hi, I'm here to see Chris Harrison. And the guard plays along because, you know, that is his job. He's an actor. He says, I'm sorry, this property is closed. This property is currently closed to the public. And she, real Karen-like, says, well, can you call someone? Can you call someone? Ma'am, he just told you it's closed to the public. He don't know who you are, so why don't you just go? Like, what? Go. So the security guard calls Chris Harrison, and Chris comes down and he says, Heather, what the heck? What are you doing here? Why are you here? And Heather says, Hannah told me all about Matt, how she loves Matt, and how she thinks Matt is just so perfect for me. So I had to just come and see for myself. And I just had to meet him, and I would kick myself if I never met him. So please let me on the show. Chris Harrison says, you wild, but okay, I'll let you on the show. Well, you know, paraphrasing. For the meantime, just go back to where you're staying. I think he said a motel, and I was just like, this girl is staying in a motel? Like, dang. So jumping back to the house, Serena C goes and confronts Katie. She asks Katie if they can have a conversation, and Serena C essentially tells Katie that she's the reason why the house is so toxic, and Katie says, I'm not the toxic one, you are, and it's annoying. I'm sick of it, and I'm sick of it. She says that none of the things would have happened, all the girls not having enough time, none of that would have happened if you know, she didn't always have to speak up and all this other stuff. Katie says, once again, Matt makes all of his own decisions. I didn't name any names. I just said there was something that needed to be addressed in the house, and it's up to him to address it. She was like, I didn't tell him to do anything. I just told him what was going on and that he needed to look into it. And from there, it just got louder and louder and louder and louder. So once they're done with the conversation, Katie, I think, was about to go back to her room, but she decides against it. Serena C goes back into the living room where all the girls are hanging out and tells the girls that Katie is just being mean. And Katie says, no, not here. You're not gonna put words into my mouth. I said what I said. And all the girls are like, hey, can we just stop fighting for like 1 week? Can we just stop? And a lot of them, because a lot of them are, you know, they're not part of the mean girl tribe, but a lot of them are starting to say, hey, Katie didn't do a doggone thing, so I don't know what you upset for. Like, I don't know what you mad for. What you mad for? So after all of that is said and done, we finally see Piper and Matt go on their one-on-one date. Might I add that they have Matt in the most flashiest, dopest cars ever. He has that little red Corvette that he be driving around, Corvette. And now in this episode, they had a nice little G-Wagon. You know, he pulling up in the G-Wagon, taking him and Piper on their little date. Now they are driving through the woods, which, who told them that black people like being in the woods? Because this is weird, okay? They're driving in the pitch black in the woods, just aimlessly, and I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Then they get out in the middle of nowhere. They have these lanterns. They're walking, and Matt tells her, hey, why don't you touch that switch right over there? So she hits the switch, and then all of a sudden, all these lights pop on, and it is a carnival. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I am not a fan of the whole driving in the woods, driving in the dark. It's a little much for me. But the fact that they had a secret fair, it's a fair, a secret fair. It's just you and your boo. Oh my God, that's cool. I know I say every week that this is like the coolest date ever, but this is honestly like the coolest date ever. I would have loved to have a nice little carnival date. I love going to carnivals. I love carnival rides. I just want to know how many rides that they get to go on, because I know if I was Piper, I would want to get on every single ride. I don't know about you, but I'll be like, look, I don't care what I want to do everything. Can we do everything? Is that possible? Because don't have me get on this damn Ferris wheel and then that's it, and then we leave. Because no, I want to get on all the rides. So in the midst of Matt and Piper being on their little carnival date, we jump back to all the girls at the house, and we finally get the group date card, which all the girls are dreading because, like I said before, none of them want to be on a group date, and yet all of them end up on a group date. Except for Katie. Katie gets the one-on-one, which she's really excited about, and, you know, Serena C over there looking salty in the face. Jumping back to the dinner portion of Matt and Piper's date, Piper starts expressing to Matt about how her family upbringing and how they haven't really been, her family isn't much of a, how should I say this? Her family doesn't really express their love for each other. They're more of a acts of service more than a words of affirmation type of love language family. So with that being said, she was saying how it's really hard for her to express how she's feeling about Matt and to tell him how she's falling in love with him. But you know, eventually she gets it out where she says that she's falling in love with him. And Matt says, I'm falling for you too. You're like the 15th girl I said that to, but like For real, I'm falling in love with you too. So after that, they kiss, duh. And I can't tell if Matt's eyes are open or closed during this because it doesn't really matter at this point. This man does never close his eyes. So now we are finally on the group date and the girls meet Matt and they see him in a bowling shirt. So you already know what it is. We are going bowling. So they walk to the bowling alley and lo and behold, there's actual food. Obviously they didn't show the girls eating food because why would we show girls eating food? Like, what do you think? What do you think ABC and The Bachelor are in the business for? Body positivity or something? What food? You starve. But I was actually very, very happy that they showed all of this food that they were able to eat, just not on camera. So they start bowling and they are having a great time. We see that literally all the girls suck at bowling. So of course that's when Chris Harrison makes his entrance and tells the girls, hey, we're doing a bowling competition. Now, if I was there, I would have thrived. I was in a bowling league for 5 years and yeah, you know, I was kind of good at it or whatever. So we have one team with Kit, Bree, Serena, C, Abigail, and Rachel. And we have another team with Chelsea, Michelle, Jasenia, and Serena P. So now they are going back and forth, and eventually the pink team, which was the team of 4, Michelle, Chelsea, Jasenia, and Serena P, win the competition. So the competition, the prize for the competition was whoever the winning team was got to go to the cocktail party at night for Matt. So obviously all the girls really wanted to win. Now the other set of 5 were really upset. They were just like, I can't get any time. You know, Abigail was the most upset, but also Rachel seemed really upset too. She was like, I never have any time with Matt. And I'm like, sweetie, you got a one-on-one, the shopping spree one-on-one. Don't talk about you ain't got no time. Like, stop. So Abigail was really upset. So they walk home and then they find a letter where Matt tells them, psych, just kidding, you could come to the cocktail party too. Which I personally think that's like dumb. Not dumb, because I understand why Matt did it. He wants to spend time with all of the girls and time is very crucial. There's a lot of girls on the show. He gotta start trimming the fat, weeding out all the girls and you know who he has a connection with and who he doesn't have a connection with. So he needs to at least get a chance to talk to every single girl. But still, it's like, man, it kind of seems like a slap in the face to the girls that actually won. So it's just kind of like we could have lost and still had time with him, or you know, the same amount of time that I would have if everybody would have went to the cocktail party. Whack. Real whack. So I think the person that was most upset about them not having, you know, not having as much time as they thought they would have at their little cocktail party dinner after the group date was Chelsea, because she just needs a lot of reassurance about her being there and her and Matt having feelings for each other. Now, which Matt gives her, he tells her that he really likes her and he has feelings for her. And then he gives Michelle the group date rose. So finally, we get to see Tyler. Tyler Cameron finally, towards the end of the show, makes his appearance and he talks to Matt about everything under the sun, how he's feeling, what he thinks about all the girls, so on and so forth, and if he's making the right decision, and you know, they have a whole bro moment, so on and so forth. So that automatically segues into Katie and Matt's date. So Katie and Matt go on a little spa date, but not just any spa date. It's more like a punked spa date because they're not getting massages. Tyler is. And they just spend the whole time making Tyler's massage miserable, I guess. Which is a little weird because, you know, I don't know. It was funny though. It was really funny. Moving on to the night portion of the date, Katie takes this time to explain to Matt that she's really happy that she finally has some time to talk to him and to really sort their feelings out, and how she really likes him and respects him for all of the integrity that he's been showing so far throughout the whole process, and yeah, so on and so forth. Which leaves Matt with like, wow, I think you're so amazing too, and I think you have great integrity, but I don't like you like that. With that being said, he pulls the rose fake out, which is super annoying. I hate when people do the rose fake out. Like Tayshia did that with Easy. She did that with a couple. Tayshia did that with a couple people, I think. But like, why? If you're not going to give them the rose, why pick up the rose? Why do you have to pick up the rose? That's just such a slap in the face. Like you pick it up and you're anticipating that they're going to give you the rose and then they don't. Whack. So with that, Matt walks Katie to the car. Katie is flabbergasted, but spoiler alert, if you guys do not want to hear any spoilers, please fast forward or just plug your ears for like 2-3 seconds. Now, seeing as how Katie didn't even make it to the top 10, technically it's the top 10 right now that she's gone. There's a rumor saying that they gave Katie more of like a Bachelorette edit because they're going to be naming her the Bachelorette. Now, I don't know how true this actually is. If they do name her the Bachelorette, yes, because I love Katie. I think that will be a fantastic season. I just hope that they give her some really cool guys. Like honestly, I could even see her with any of the guys from Tayshia and Claire's season. The season 16 guys just have a special place in my heart. They're just like really genuine guys. You can tell, maybe it's just because I just follow all of them, but they all seem like really cool guys. So now we are finally at the next rose ceremony where the girls are kind of settling in and they're just like, well, everything should be going back to normal. There's no drama, nothing can get brought up, just everything is just going to be normal. Because why wouldn't it be normal? I say this every week and I'll say it every single week until somebody gets it through their head. This is The Bachelor. Nothing is ever going to be normal on this show. Like it's just never going to happen. So of course, as they're saying all of this, Heather pulls up in that damn minivan and walks right past all the girls saying, hi. And all the girls are looking at her like, who done it and what for? Heather busts in the door in the middle of Piper and Matt having a conversation, and is Tyler like retaliating on me? Like what is happening? What is happening? He just busts out laughing. He thinks it's the most hilarious thing in the world. And then we are left with the girls being super confused as to why Heather is there, and Matt is just having a conversation with Heather, and Heather is just explaining to him how she just really wanted to meet him, and Hannah spoke so highly about him, so she just really wanted to do whatever it took to get to meet him in person. And I guess the next episode we see if Heather gets a rose or if she doesn't get a rose, or if she doesn't get a rose. I'm pretty sure she doesn't get a rose because it's too late in the game now. It's just honestly too late in the game, and I don't think the girls are gonna have it. The girls aren't having it, and honestly, I don't blame them. So if there was ever a reason to give somebody a pass to bully, nah, kick her off. Get her off. Get her off. Do whatever it takes. Call Victoria back if you need to. So with that being said, that is it, you guys. That is the end of this Bachelor recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you are into these Bachelor related videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. I make Bachelor content every Tuesday, so just make sure you just come right on back and check it out. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and till next time, bye guys.